What's up guys, Calendar with Droid Life, and we're going to take a look today in an app called Timely Alarm Clock. Now, we don't typically feature alarm clock apps often because, they're alarm clock apps and they're not the most interesting. They're sort of a set and forget it type of thing. But this app's different in that not only is it designed beautifully, the animations, the gestures, just the overall look of it are really, really top notch. But it does something that every alarm clock app, I believe, should do at this point, and that's cloud sync between devices. And also it allows you to manage alarms between multiple devices at the same time, which is pretty amazing if you have multiple phones or you have a tablet that you use for alarms sometimes or a phone that you use sometimes. You can sync those sort of between. So let's take a look at it, but also it has a widget, has Google Now integration in case you're setting alarms. You can set up recurring alarms, there's animations, there's a dash clock extension. It does some unique sort of snooze features, some sleep cycle stuff. It's really a really cool app. So again, let's just jump into it and we'll start talking about it. So show you sort of why it's so beautiful. So the first time you open it up, this is kind of what it looks like. It might be a little reddish color. I believe there's a stock sort of theme. And yes, there are custom themes you can do. You can sort of change the way everything looks in here. So the main screen clock shows when your next alarm is, shows the date, all that good stuff. If you swipe to the right, you actually have a timer and stopwatch that you can access with a little gesture. And these look really nice. You can see there's really cool animations as each second goes by. So again, beautifully designed app. So let's go ahead and pause that. So again, you can just flip between those with a little gesture. You can set a timer, all that cool stuff, right? So really cool. If you swipe over to the left though, this is where you get into your alarms. So I'll come back to that in a second, but you'll notice that each screen has a different look to it. So they actually allow you to customize the look of everything. Now, on the main clock screen, there's a button down here that allows you to change between a digital or analog clock. I would imagine there's going to be other options, or maybe even developers can build in different looks in there. So you could probably have different looks, which could be kind of cool, but you can sort of change these. Now that's sort of what my clock looks like. But where it takes another step is if you go into Action Overflow, and then change themes. Now I believe the free version, because the app is free initially, they give you sort of an option to unlock some of these other themes. If you pay $2.99, which is like an introductory premium price, you can actually make your own themes. So let's say I go in here and I want to go like really bright green in the middle, and then up top I want to go like bright orange, and then in the bottom I want to go like light blue and just totally rainbow it up here. I can do that. So you can create your own themes, make the whole look. And now this is only the theme for this screen. If I go over to my alarm, I can change that as well. So really cool customization stuff going on there. But let's talk about alarms and why it's so awesome. Okay, so you can see I've got a couple alarms set up here, but in order to create a new one, all you do is find, whatever time you want to set one, and you just swipe from the left into that time, and you'll see it right around 3:30. And then as long as I keep my finger on here, I can just drag it around and change the alarm time. So let's say I want to set one up for noon. Lift my finger, and it says, okay, you want to do noon, done, or cancel. Or actually I could grab that again and just drag it to, say, like 3. So there's a new alarm, I hit done, and that's the time my new alarm is. Okay, there's an on-off toggle button, so I could toggle that on or off. But if I tap down in here, it actually takes me into the entire alarm. So there's this Smart Rise option you could check, and if you hit the little question mark, it talks about it. And this is where we get into sleep cycle stuff, where it tries to lightly wake you up over a 30-minute period. So kind of a cool thing there. You also have the option to use vibrate, which most alarms do. But then if you jump into the actual sound, they've included a whole bunch of sounds that I would say are actually sort of soothing. They're not gonna make you grab your phone and want to throw it against a wall, let's say. And they sort of section them off depending on what kind of sound you want. Like I went with smooth live, so I'll let you hear that one. So not terrible, still sounds pretty nice, like you could actually maybe wake up to that. But here's where it gets really cool. You'll see this section down here titled Cloud. Let me get a little closer here. So I'm holding the Moto X, which is the XT1060. Now you'll also notice there's another device listed down there that's kind of blacked out called the XT1080. That's actually the Droid Ultra, which I have sitting right back there. So I have this Timely app set up on there as well. So what I could do is just tap that button. It actually turns that alarm on the Droid Ultra, even though I'm not, touching the Droid Ultra. So I can turn that on or off. And this is a brand new alarm you guys just saw me create. So let me show you then how that works. To get out of here, you can just sort of tap and it'll get you out. So I've got all my alarms set up, but let's say I want to delete one really quickly. So I could actually swipe this 3 o'clock one away and delete it. Let's go undo because I want to see if this newly created alarm is synced with the cloud. So if I set that down, grab my Ultra, open up Timely, and let me cancel that. You'll see the 3 o'clock alarm is actually there. So let me go in and tap on this. And again, you can see it's only set up on my Moto X, not on this device. But let's go ahead and make sure it is on for this device and go back. And this is where the cloud part becomes kind of cool. Let's just say I don't want that alarm at all. 3 o'clock seems like a weird time to set up an alarm. So you can actually swipe them away to delete them, right? And if you look there in Moto X, that alarm went away as well. So instant cloud syncing uses your Google account. And again, if you use a tablet and a phone or a couple phones, or you have a mega tech setup, or you're a weird blogger like me, that's really important to be able to sync your alarms between multiple devices. So very, very cool. And again, you can change themes in all of these areas, but let's just go into settings just to show you sort of what we got in here. So you can adjust the alarm fade in length, snooze duration. You can actually set up a shrinking snooze duration, so it'll start at like 9 minutes, and if you keep snoozing, it'll shrink that time down. Adjust volume. You can use the volume buttons to snooze it. I believe you can also flip the phone over to snooze it. And when the alarm's going off, there's actually just a big circle snooze button in the middle if you want to tap that, so you don't have to fumble around to try to find buttons. There's effects and stuff, manage devices. There's all kinds of stuff going on in here. So for an alarm app, and again, we don't necessarily talk about alarm apps all that awesome. This is a beautifully done alarm app. So it's called Timely. You can grab it for free in Google Play. And then there's a premium version, and I believe they're running a deal right now for $2.99. So not cheap for the premium version, but I would say at least install the free version just to give it a run and decide if it's something you like, or if you need a new alarm app, or if you've been missing features like cloud sync between devices. Highly recommend checking this out. So again, Timely or Droid Life. Peace.